So hi guys, welcome back to today's video. So today's topic will be about 4 ways to invest in yourself. So I know a lot of people will ask the most common question about investing being, what do I invest in? What's the best investment to make? And I'm sure that if you ask this question on various platforms, social media platforms, you will definitely get a portion of people with the answer saying invest in yourself. So I definitely agree that that's not wrong, but it can be easily misunderstood, or to some people, they might find it rather weird. So I do agree it is extremely useful and everyone should invest in themselves, but provided you know how to do it the right way and the most effective way. So in this video, I would like to share how I think that it's useful to invest in yourself and how I think everyone can start off by investing in themselves. So the first way you can invest yourself is to get access to learning materials. So this is a rather common thing that I'm sure everyone will know by now. So things like bibliographies of people you look up to and you want to emulate. I think that books are amazing because you get to understand and experience a person's life. You get to learn what they learn over decades of time in maybe just a few hours or days, depending on how fast you read the book. And the thing is, you get to have a different point of view towards different scenarios. You look at how different people think when they face different situations. So I always see people saying that, books aren't useful, it's people's life, there are some things that's not applicable, etc. But the thing is, books are not meant to be perfect, and nothing is meant to be perfect. Instead, it's more of like a summary of that person's life or that person's experience and what they want to tell to the general public. So choose a book, and of course, when you read through it, pick up things that you agree, pick up things that you like and would like to follow. And as for the things that you sort of don't agree with, or you think there's a better way around it, of course you can just leave it as it is and pick out the good points from the book, because there's always good points to pick up from the book. So there's also the other spectrum of learning materials, which is courses. So of course, with this year's COVID-19 situation, there's a lot of free online courses going around. So make full use of it. And any source of knowledge is good, be it paid or free. There are multiple places that you can get it from. So it's very accessible nowadays. It's no longer maybe like 20 years in the past where there's no such thing as online courses. So do make the most out of these good, accessible, free courses that you can get anytime from anywhere. So in general, this first point is a rather obvious fact, and I won't delve too much on it because I'm sure everyone will know about it by now. So the second way I think that one should invest in themselves is to sort of generate more free time. Look for ways to increase your own personal time. So I didn't understand the importance of this early, but definitely now if I look back, one thing that I do regret is not understanding how important time is at a younger age. So buying all the learning materials, getting all the great books, going for good courses won't mean a thing if you don't have enough time to study and apply them. So not only that, having time also allows you to sort of explore different types of information, and you get to have more freedom to look around and find the thing that's most suitable for your personality to study. In fact, I would take another day to create videos about 10 investing books that I feel everyone in their 20s should read. And I think that these books are really great books that I've read through, and I think that it's definitely something very useful for you guys to learn and pick up something from. So getting more personal time is something that is very different because it's easier for some people compared to the others. For example, someone who grew up with a domestic helper at their home, for someone who can afford it, definitely they will tend to have more free time because they don't have to do certain household chores. Similarly, those that have lesser hours at work, lesser financial commitments, will definitely have more free time at their disposal as well. So don't compare your free time with others because everyone starts their life off differently. But most importantly is you have to understand, you have to try your best to work hard and try and increase the amount of time you have for yourself. Because slowly but surely, eventually you will get there. There's also different strategies that you can use to sort of squeeze out time for yourself. So there's this group of people that go with the hack of waking up early. So it's called the 5 a.m. club, where these people wake up at 5 a.m. to start off their day. So personally, I find this rather unrealistic, especially in Malaysia, considering how if you force yourself to do something so extreme, you'll probably burn out and get exhausted within days or at most weeks, and by then you will hate the concept of working hard and striving towards financial freedom. So I don't want to advocate such extreme measures, but of course it's also important to have enough sleep, get enough rest, and in general, I want you all to be happy while pursuing the financial freedom journey. So stick to being efficient and being motivated instead, and not think about extreme measures you can do, because those are not sustainable. So the other good thing that you can do is you can buy time with money. So for example, you can buy gadgets and tools that cut down on time you spend on household chores, such as you can buy a vacuum cleaner. You can even hire those hourly maids that come in once a week or bi-weekly. You can hire someone to do the work that you might take time off to do, such as plumbing, fixing up things in your house. And also, you can buy tools that automate part of your businesses if you are a business owner. So these costs sometimes have to be spent, because you have to think about it. You have to weigh the options between time and the money you spend. So if this money you spend actually frees up time that you can use more effectively, then definitely I would say go ahead and spend this amount of money, because that time is more valuable. So step 3 of investing in yourself, or the third type of way you can invest in yourself, is attending events, like in-person events, live events. Of course, this may not be so applicable during this COVID-19 situation, but it's something when the situation gets better, when we can start going out to attend events, this would be something very useful. So as you gain more time and money through step 1 and 2, eventually they kind of feed off each other, and it forms a good cycle where eventually more money gives you more time, and more time gives you the ability to generate more money. So it's a very good cycle to build up with. So you will have more opportunity to continue making more money, and that's when you should move on to do more things that require more resources. For example, attending seminars, workshops, talks. So your motivation to attend these events is important, because I think that going to these events is very useful, because you get to meet like-minded people in certain industries or talks that you are interested in, and you will be able to gain more knowledge, at the same time build up your social circle, expand your connections. So without you realizing it, eventually you will form a very strong community, and that way you will start to be able to pursue towards a certain goal with like-minded people, and you will not feel so lonely, and you will be more motivated to do it together. So at some point of time, I think that you should start dedicating some money to go for events. So I know this is a very controversial topic, but I'm going to be honest and say that free events aren't necessarily the best, because sometimes, based on my past experiences, I think that people who attend free events may not be as focused and as determined as people who actually fork out money to attend certain events. So you will get to meet different sorts of people at free events, but usually when you go to paid events, you will meet people that are very focused, and people who are very clear with what they want and what they want to get out of that event. And when you are surrounded by people like that, naturally you will be able to be more focused and more determined in your life as well. But of course, this doesn't work for everyone. I don't think that you necessarily have to pay for events, but I do think that it's a good upgrade if you feel that you want to take that extra step towards driving towards achieving more things in your life. So the last way that you can invest in yourself is cultivating relationships that matter. So cultivate is a very strange word to use, because some people I met through step number 3 have become friends and people in my life that I think is quite important. So this is what people mean when they say you should invest into relationships, because you spend the time, or sometimes you spend the money, to meet these people regularly. You will eventually be able to strengthen the bond between you all, and that's because you have to know that quality relationships mean more than quantity. So the awesome part is that the better your relationships you have, the better that you all grow together, and eventually you will be able to introduce more friends to each other, and we were able to bounce off ideas each other, and we will just form a very strong community where we grow and learn together. And that's why I wanted to create this YouTube channel, so that we are able to grow and learn and bounce ideas off each other, and achieve a better financially free life in the future. So essentially, for layman's terms, it will be that you will be able to hype your friends up, and your friends will be able to hype you up. So it's going to be a nice supportive environment to be in. So similarly, keep the toxic relationships out of your life, because they do you no good, and they only bring more harm and sort of waste your time and only pull you down. So stick with quality relationships, and they will bring you a lot further in life. So with that being said, we have come to the end of the video. So thank you for watching, and please do subscribe to our channel and leave a like down below, and do comment for any upcoming topics that you wish for me to talk about. So thank you all for watching, and see you all in the next video. Bye bye.